Respected chair of the session, distinguished guests and audience, learned audience, I am Dr. Shahriar Mahbub. I welcome you to my presentation. The title of our abstract is Violence Against Children and its Associated Factors in an Urban Area of Dhaka in Bangladesh. Violence against children is a global public health issue. Annually, about 1 billion children experience some sort of violence in their life. It has got many consequences in their life that is not limited only in their childhood, but it also extends into their adolescence and into adulthood. What it creates is a potential for cycle of violence which not only harms them, but also the future generation. As a member of the low and middle income countries, Bangladesh is no exception, and multiple indicator cluster survey has indicated that violence against children is unfortunately increasing in prevalence over the years. So we set out to investigate the violence against children, its proportion and associated factors in an urban area in the capital city. We conducted a cross-sectional survey involving 401 respondents who belonged to the age group of 10 to 16 years. The study was conducted in 2 wards of Dhaka North City Corporation. It was Zone 2, Mirpur Pallavi area. The place of the study was selected conveniently while the households were selected through systematic random sampling. So every 5th or every 7th households were selected for the survey. Data was collected using a pre-tested semi-structured questionnaire based on already accepted studies and adapted according to the local context. Extensive training was provided to the data collectors considering the sensitivity of the issue. We also performed descriptive and statistical analysis as required. Etiquette guideline was followed throughout the whole of the study. As we can see from our result, the average age of the respondents were nearly 12 years, and the number of boys were greater than the number of girls. Majority of these children were school-going children. Majority of these children's fathers were employed, while their mothers were primarily homemakers. This gives us a context of the study. Around 85% of the children belong to the nuclear type of family, and parents of nearly 3% of children were either divorced or separated. As we can see here, an overwhelming majority, about 88% children reported that they were abused at least once, while almost 55% were abused multiple times. The most of the events of abuse occurred in their life before the age of 10. And the leading type of abuse was physical abuse, followed by emotional abuse. Parents were the main abusers in the family, where physical abuse was very common. This table shows us the frequency and percentage of the types of violence along with the context of their living status, whether they are living with their family or their relatives or friends. This shows us the settings of violence against them, whether in the family or in the hands of caregiver or at school or in the playground. As we can see, most of the events of violence occurred before the age of 10. This figure shows us the type and place of abuse. The principal type of abuse or violence was physical, followed by emotional. And we can see there is a sliver of orange color here that indicates sexual violence, mostly in the playground or in the school. There is also some incidences or reported sexual violence in the family. Multiple abuse frequencies were reported mostly in the family or in the hands of teachers or strangers or friends. So most abuses that happened in the playground were in the hands of friends and strangers, and 50% of children reported physical abuse in the school for multiple times. This is after the corporal punishment were banned in the school. Sexual abuse was reported by 5% of the respondents, and we can see gender and type of family were statistically significant with ever being abused. So we can come to a conclusion that violence against children is fairly common, whether in the hands of parents or teachers or friends. This highlights the need for a community awareness to prevent these types of damaging incidents from ever occurring in their life. Thank you.